After the chaos of the previous chapter, Xia Chi finally presents his cooking to the four masters, and to his surprise, the reaction is way better than expected. The moment the food is served, the atmosphere changes instantly. Even before tasting it, the smell alone already grabs everyone's attention. What looked like an ordinary meal suddenly feels special, and all four masters begin to take it seriously. Xia Chi explains that this dish isn't just random cooking. He carefully balanced the seasoning so the chicken keeps its original flavor instead of being completely covered by sour. In other words, he didn't just cook for survival, he actually put real thought into the meal. That's when the tasting begins. One by one, the masters try the food and the results are immediate. Their expressions change almost at once because the flavor is far better than they expected from a disciple who just arrived. Even the usually difficult fourth master can't hide her reaction. Instead of mocking him like before, she's clearly impressed, even if she doesn't want to admit it to Penley. But the funniest response comes from the fox-like master, who enjoys the dish so much that she starts acting completely satisfied right in front of Xia Chi. She even teases him while praising the food, making the entire scene feel way more dangerous than a normal meal. Xia Chi, of course, notices everything. He realizes this meal isn't just earning compliments, it's also helping him get closer to the masters much faster than he expected. And that's a huge deal because up until now, most of his relationship with them has been built on provoking them, surviving them, or collecting rage points from their anger. But Chapter 4 changes the mood a little. For the first time, Xia Chi proves that he actually has value beyond just being rebellious and shameless. He can fight with his words, but he can also win people over with skill. Of course, this doesn't mean life is about to become peaceful. If anything, the masters being more interested in him probably means even more trouble is coming. Still, by the end of the chapter, one thing is clear: Xia Chi's cooking has officially made an impact. The four masters are no longer looking at him like a random disciple who wandered into the temple. Now he's someone worth paying attention to. And knowing Xia Chi, he's absolutely going to use that to his advantage. After impressing the four masters with his cooking, Xia Chi hopes things might finally calm down, but peace never lasts for him. The next day, he heads toward Changyun Pavilion to look for cultivation techniques. On the way, he complains about Yang Yu's terrible directions, blaming her for getting him lost. Even now, he isn't fully sure he's heading the right way, which makes him more annoyed. For Xia Chi, even a simple walk to the library turns into another problem. At the same time, Sister San and Yang Yu are already planning to mess with him again. They prepare a few lines to provoke Xia Chi and drag him into another awkward situation, while Xia Chi has no idea trouble is already waiting for him. Then, out of nowhere, Second Master suddenly appears and throws herself at him. Xia Chi is completely caught off guard and yells as is tackled on the spot. 1 second he's trying to find the library, and the next he's pinned down by one of the most dangerous women in the sect. Once he recovers, he quickly explains he wasn't doing anything suspicious. He says he only came to the library to study, and yesterday he simply got lost because he didn't know the paths. He tries his best to sound like an innocent disciple who just has terrible luck. But Second Master barely cares about his explanation. Instead, she suddenly brings up her tail. With a straight face, she tells Xia Chi that it has somehow ended up in a strange shape and asks him to check it. Xia Chi instantly freezes because he can already tell this conversation is becoming dangerous. It's exactly the kind of weird situation that no normal disciple would ever want to be trapped in. Then she makes it even worse by casually saying that whatever he wants, she'll give it to him. That one sentence is enough to make Xia Chi choke. He immediately forces himself to stay calm and act respectful, even though he's panicking inside. Realizing he needs to get out of this carefully, he quickly thinks of a smarter request before the situation gets even more out of control. Instead of asking for treasures or anything shameless, Xia Chi brings up Li Bai. He asks if she has anything related to his poetry or techniques. It's a smart move. He changes the topic, avoids the embarrassing tension, and asks for something useful. Rather than taking the obvious bait, he turns the conversation back towards something that helps him grow stronger. Second Master is clearly amused by his answer. She was probably expecting something completely different, but instead he chooses knowledge over temptation. That instantly changes the mood of the scene and makes Xia Chi look much more interesting in her eyes. And that's what makes Chapter 5 fun. It shows how Xia Chi survives when he's surrounded by unpredictable masters who keep dragging him into ridiculous situations. Even when he's flustered and caught off guard, he still manages to think fast and turn things in his favor. By the end of the chapter, one thing is obvious. Xia Chi may look like the one getting bullied, but when it matters, he knows exactly how to dodge danger and walk away with an advantage. Second Master taking even more interest in him, his peaceful cultivation life is clearly about to get a lot more chaotic.